Hi, I'm Anatole, and in a minute I will be joined by Min, and we are going to be doing a reaction today to Watchmen Season 1, Episode 3, titled She Was Killed by Space Junk. It scored a total of 8.7 on IMDb, and it's out of about 1,000 votes. And since our last recording, I discovered that HBO is releasing on its website some some extra information about the show. The site is called Peteypedia, and it's kind of based on, not kind of, it's based on the Watchmen graphic novel. And if you have not read the Watchmen graphic novel, it's a collected comic book series of 12 issues. At the end of each issue, the writer of that series, Alan Moore, wrote text information, things like excerpts from books from within the world and files like FBI files. It's just more information that builds the world. And so the showrunner, Damon Lindelof, has, I'm assuming he's the one that is in charge of this, created these extra files, this extra world building information about the show. And because I only learned of it last week, I'm not quite caught up. I've read, so each week they release a tranche of files that contain about 3 or 4 documents. And now we're up to file 3. I've gotten halfway through file 2. So the next time you join us, Min and I should have at that point caught up. But there is a lot of really interesting information that explains a lot of the historical background. Like, I remember in the first episode, I was questioning why the police were wearing masks. So a lot of things that maybe you as a viewer are puzzled by, but because the story doesn't explain it and the plot, it doesn't need to be explained for the plot. It's just left unanswered. A lot of that is contained in these files, so I highly recommend. The website is hbo.com Peteypedia, and that's spelled Peteypedia, and I'll put a link into the show notes. And so that's pretty much my update for the week, and hopefully Min will be here momentarily, and we will begin our reaction to Watchmen Season 1, Episode 3, titled She Was Killed by Space Junk. One brief correction. I said earlier that my question was I didn't understand why the police were wearing masks. Actually, I didn't understand why the chief of police was not wearing a mask, but the police did, and that is explained in the PDP files. All right, so let's get into the reaction. Note to self, I meant to look up what Iberian Pig is a reference to. So according to the PDP files, True Corporation is a Vietnamese corporation that bought out Vite's company when Vite was in Vietnam, if I remember all that correctly.
There's this guy. He's a bricklayer.
Right. Is there something at the top of the Washington Monument? That is the Washington Monument. There was something at the top. Is that like energy related? I wondered. There was something at the top of the Washington Monument. That is the Washington Monument, is it not? I'm Batman. My parents are dead.
How'd you know we're gonna be here?
Because I'm Batman. My parents are dead.
Hey, Blake. How'd you know his body armor would stop the bullets?
In other words, I didn't know.
Wait, she Blake.
Yes, that's right.
She's Blake. She's
Yes.
the daughter
Yes.
of the comedian.
Yes, that's right. Very good.
Ruthless.
Yes. So the original Spectre.
Chief of police got hung.
Hang.
Hung.
You knew him?
Hung. His grammar was correct.
Yeah. I know. I read extensively about
Yeah.
it.
But that's
It
not
looks
what
like
it
that dude from the
Second K
Canadian
always
government.
takes credit when they kill a cop. And not
Oh, the
people.
Justin Trudeau?
Yeah.
You think it's
Handsome, but
visualized?
a bit of a maniac inside his eyes. So you're
Call
saying Justin
professional
Trudeau's a
jealousy.
maniac in his eyes?
Vigilantes already see cops as the enemy. Now they got.
Sorry,
masks,
sorry, Canadian
Put
viewers.
the cops in masks, Joe.
His opinions do not necessarily reflect mine. Duh.
80% every years. And now someone
Kind of the
is trying to
opposite of his
start a war.
father.
If they
Father
do,
who was
all those
against
here.
masks and vigilantism, and here he
Yeah,
is
yeah.
putting them on the police.
Oh, Night Owls got imprisoned.
That's right, that's right. I think he's saying that if you play along and I become
Ah.
president, then I can get Night Owl out of prison.
Ooh.
The Racial Violence Act was passed. African Americans come to Tulsa to claim the benefits. They buy land, start businesses.
So that's why there was such that big, vibrant African American community.
Yeah,
They all
yeah.
went there to get their benefits, and then because they had no taxes, it was easy for them to start the businesses.
I just thought for psychological context, you might want to.
Is it the 1980s, Petey?
No, sir.
Who gives a shit about abortion?
A lot of people actually.
Yeah, I think it'd be very important to know.
Yeah.
I don't agree with his opinion at all.
Everyone just read it.
Yeah.
In there, Senator, giddy up. If y'all can fight fire with fire, y'all can fight mask with mask.
He does look like Trudeau.
Sorry, gentlemen, ladies.
That's
is
cool.
Laurie, you can't go in there alone.
Fine. I'll take.
The projector guy.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah,
He know about Russia. He cares.
yeah. And actually, the stuff on the internet I was showing you, it comes from his character. That's why it's called Peteypedia, because his name is Petey.
Ah, okay. And he's young, so he can be bossed around. Easy, right?
I think you're thinking exactly what she's thinking, yeah.
I know, The Lone Stranger.
Right.
The movie with Johnny Depp in it.
So what'd you do with that big brain I gave you? Asks God.
Kill shit tons of people to achieve peace.
That's not what he would say.
Yeah.
Christ, God says.
What is this God?
God saying Christ is like if I said, oh, Anatole.
Yeah, they are kind of like the same. If he
Yes.
said Christ, like the other guy would pop up like yo and showing up his pose like yo, sup, bruh?
She's taking a Polaroid. No digital cameras.
Yeah. What happened to all the tech?
That's also in the PDP files. After the event where the squids dropped on New York,
Yeah.
they get a distrust of Manhattan and his technology. So that's why no internet's developed.
So they destroy all the technology that related to that.
They just suppress it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. They don't want to move on. They
Right.
fear.
Right. But just now, at the start of the show, they're starting to develop the internet.
Yeah.
But that's the reason why technology is really backward.
May I have the control back, please?
But she wasn't like that back in the time.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's one of the
Maybe the loss of everything like broke her.
maybe.
Yeah.
Tell me about your
The writer Damon Lindelof did say about post-traumatic stress disorder that there was trauma in her past. So yeah, maybe.
That Tulsa for beat the shit out of him.
I did not personally observe any violence against
Which
the
does not mean that they didn't
Yeah,
have that. It just
yeah.
means I didn't see it.
I didn't see it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter how I answer your question because I know you're sending me to hell.
I'm a pistol of a machine of time.
Right.
Nice. Everything inevitable.
This reminds me that the comedian, when the comedian
Yeah.
has his funeral.
Funeral of a comedian.
Right.
Very, very nostalgic, huh?
Just another thing about the show where it seems to be repeating the original story.
I think that is intentional, huh?
Yeah, no, I believe it is.
And to start off anew.
But I don't like that. So do you remember in the original Watchmen when Veidt had the fake assassination attempt against
Yeah,
his
yeah.
life?
It's a very, very nice.
So now I'm wondering if Senator Keen isn't got stuff going on.
Yeah. Doing that thing again, huh?
So maybe he's part of that conspiracy that Will talked about in episode 2.
Yeah. Oh, there's frozen mark. Did he successfully throw people to space by a freaking catapult?
This will have him quaking in his boots, Master. I'll have it sent right away.
Have Mr. Phillips restring my bow and saddle up Bucephalus.
Bucephalus?
Yeah.
I know that name.
Yeah, is it a reference to
The horse of Caesar the Great.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
But now I have different verdict. I think something strange is happening. He's not where we think he is.
Yeah, and he may not be when we think he is. He may be in the past.
Or maybe he's in space. That's why it's easy to throw people out.
Yeah, so my guess is he's on Mars, and what we're seeing now is in the past, because they keep bringing him cakes on the anniversary of the squid attack, but that was 20 years ago.
You drink any of that yet?
No. Why?
I need double coffee for this thing. But you're right, like the attempt assassinate on Ozymandias back then was exactly the same.
Right.
It's like just enough to scare the shit out of people.
Right.
But very safe nevertheless.
Right.
Remember.
So I'm wondering if this attempt on Senator Keen's life isn't the same, to make it look like he's a target of the 7th Cavalry rather than actually being their secret ally.
Yeah.
Because it helps his presidential ambition.
And it gain more power, and he can support it. And if anyone find any leads, they were like, no, it's not gonna happen.
Right, so he gets the 7th Cavalry to stir up this racial unrest, and he comes in, he looks strong, like he's stopping it. He becomes president, and then he can start unwinding all these liberal policies the country has now.
Yeah. I find it hard to accept the fact that lately, like the modern show, the really, really good quality show, is getting harder and harder, and you need a strong background to understand things. From Chernobyl to Dark to this one.
No, don't see a trend. Dark is not part of that trend. HBO does have an artistic choice that they want to have their viewers really engaged in the show, because this is all not about the show, but because other shows like Netflix, they give you all the season in one go. So people tend to binge watch it.
I just watch it from the beginning to the end.
But HBO is a broadcast cable network. They show their program
week by week.
Yeah, and so they want people interested throughout the week so that they will come back and watch. And so they do have a tendency of making things that are a little more complicated.
And then to give you the information throughout the week.
Yes, so that their fans will be talking about it, and then they'll be excited to come back and watch it the next week.
Nice marketing though, but it's very like a new user unfriendly, that is. I can't imagine I introduce any of these to my friends. Like even the friend who watched Watchmen already.
Well, that's one argument against it, but apparently HBO feels like it's working for them rather than hurting them.
Keep doing it.
Yeah, right.
Dinner.
A custom.
You tell me. What was it?
Damn. She's fishing. She's fishing.
Yeah.
She's fishing strongly.
Yeah.
It's not like you ever had a sense of humor.
Why do they build a secret facility just to be forbidden to talk to Dr. Manhattan?
Because he's like a god.
Oh, okay. It's like a kind of church.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what it's meant to be.
Oh, that's the Nightsister car.
Yes, that's right. The one that Will escaped in episode 2. Exactly right. Alright, so that's episode 3. Join us and we will give our reaction to it. Or, review of it. Join us in 1 second. And that was episode 3. She was killed by space junk, I think is the title.
That is.
Thank you. He's really good at titles.
That is.
If you watch Chernobyl, there's behind the scenes of me not being able to remember the title, but Min always knowing. He's on it. So Min, what are your thoughts about that episode?
Very, very intriguing, that is. Lots of build up. Well, there's still not much there's even more build up. We haven't seen much, but as you've told me beforehand, we do see sequences got repeated, just like in the comics, the motion comic, as well as
comic
the
book?
Watchmen. Yeah. The comic book that is then.
Min is watching the motion comic right now.
It's good.
Which is fine. It's fine. But I want him to refer to it as the comic book instead of the motion comic. Yeah.
Just the same as in the Watchmen, like the Lotus one, the Jack Snyder movie. But I love it by the way. So yeah, there's things that got repeated, but I believe they're there for a reason, and obviously they're trying to build up something. I can totally feel it, mate. But what are they leading up to? I can't tell. Like 3 episodes in, and I still find myself very confused.
Right. So I'm not that familiar with Damon Lindelof. He's the showrunner. He worked on Lost. I haven't watched Lost. I know of Lost, how it was, how many seasons? Like 6, 7 seasons of this big mystery, and then kind of failed to pay off the mystery.
Yeah.
But he also did a show called Leftovers on HBO, which was also a show that had a big mystery, and fans are happy with that. They felt that he paid off the mystery. So I guess one of the hallmarks of his work is to create all these questions, more questions than answers in the viewer.
Whether he got to deliver it or not is like up to the future, huh?
Right.
Oh, that's a big risk though.
So like where is Ozymandias? When is he? Is he in the past or is he now? Because the fact that those cakes, we guess, are the anniversary of the squid attack, that attack was 30 years ago. So if it's the anniversary of the first and the second and the third, that would mean he's in the past, not now. But we don't know that. We're guessing. And then is he on Earth? Because it just seems very strange about where he is. And he seems to be trying to go out into outer space. And then we saw a clip of Dr. Manhattan destroying the castle that looked like Ozymandias' castle, but that was on Mars, not on Earth. And then in episode 2, I think it was, we see that he's growing tomatoes on trees, but tomatoes don't grow on trees. So there's all these questions and reasons to doubt just when he is and where he is, but we don't have any proof that he isn't on Earth. We don't have any proof that it is not today. We just have doubts about those things. And that's just one way that Lindelof is making this mystery and not giving us answers.
Like just about like Ozymandias alone, there are so many questions. We couldn't even make a series out of that. And then we have others with other struggle, other power, other like disappearance and appearance of characters as well. Oh, well put together. But for now, I believe they need to at least like kind of put them all together in the next episode or the episode after that, because it's been a bit long.
Well, I'm pretty sure Ozymandias won't get solved until near the end. The showrunner said that thread looks like it's off in its own separate TV show, but near the end he will tie everything together. So.
Yeah, hopefully. Oh, I can't wait.
Any other final thoughts?
No, not really. Everything is really well made. But well, I really need to research more though, because as you said, Anatole told me that these kind of shows are made in, well, like they show separately in weeks, so that the viewer has more time to build up the research on that, I guess.
So I've given you the link to the PDP files, and I mentioned it in my introduction that I have been reading some of that, and it will be, I'll link to it in the show notes, and so for you, that could be your homework, is to start looking at those
I'm
PDP
gonna
files.
read all of them. I read like two though, like the newspaper. Vade is that,
right.
And the article about a policeman thingy. Oh.
So those are from file 1. Yep. Okay. So I guess we'll leave it there. Thank you for joining us, and I hope you'll join us again. Until next time, I'm Anatole.
I'm Min.
That's right. No, you're Mr. Potato.
No,
Mr.
I'm
Potato. Dude, don't slip on your game, man. Keep it up.
Oh, wait. Oh, you catch me off guard. It's in the beginning. That's supposed to be the end, no?
No,
like, this is the first time
you gotta be on it. Always on it.
It's my fault. Like, forgive me, my audience.
All right. Well, hopefully next time Min will remember.
I'll get it right.
He's Potato.
I will.
All right. Goodbye.
See you.